Here we have Big Ramy Momdels Baye at the 2015 Arnold Classic Brazil, and his opponent is Andrew Obake, otherwise known as Andrew Jacked, at his most recent showing at the 2024 Texas Pro. Wow! A lot of people would say that, in both cases, this is their best versions. What a matchup. So let's not waste any more time. Without further ado, let's go through all of these shots, starting with the front double. I will give you my opinion on who I think was better at their both respective versions. Big Ramy here. Look at him back then. He had same type of potential and fan base, I'm sure. The people that don't even like bodybuilding. They're walking by, they see these physiques, and, I'm going to start watching bodybuilding if they're going to look like this. You can't go wrong. Waistlines, premium, size-wise, and, good separation, maybe even more so on Big Ramy's physique. Ramy's a little bit shorter. He is, guys. He's going to be a few inches shorter. But he's so big. Look at the size of those wheels. Looks like he probably weighs just as much as Andrew Jacked here. But Andrew's no light fella. He's not a 225-pound man. This is a ginormous stud. Look at the arms on him as well. I mean, Big Ramy, he's got some guns. But I don't know if he's taking Andrew Jacked. Andrew's structure's just that much bigger. Of course, Ramy's might be more conditioned. But very close, right out of the gate. So I commend each and every one of you fellers and fellasses for voting on this one, everybody in between. Here is the next shot. Now I'm inclined to believing that, yes, maybe Andrew could have beat Big Ramy in that front double. But I didn't want to go ahead and get too excited. But take a look. Ramy is cleaning house. And I'm sure everybody can agree. Nobody's really touching Andrew Jack nowadays in this front lat spread. I would have to see them all side by each to say for sure. I think Samson could battle him. But other than that, nobody really is going to beat him. Take a look at Big Ramy. Ramrod is cleaning house. Look at how impressive he is. And I owe you guys and gals, everybody, every one of you viewers, an apology. Because I didn't put Ramy in that everyone versus Dorian Yates in the front lat spread video. And that was a huge mistake by me, Triple M. I'm not blaming the company. I'm blaming myself this time. And I'm sorry. Turn to the side, and I can hear you guys now. But Max Morse holes. Wow. Big Ramy, he does bend at the knees quite a bit. Makes him shorter in this pose. So it does look like he's about a half a foot, maybe even a foot shorter than Andrew Jacked. But does it matter? Kind of futile to worry about that when Big Ramy is winning anyway. Very luxurious. You hear me use that word? Sometimes to describe a pose or a physique. It is very luxurious. Andrew Jacked, he is giving us what he has. That's what I call that one. Which is no knock on the guy. He looks like he's more conditioned each time. I think last year at the Texas he looked better because he crouched his wheels down. So maybe you should do that, even though most people are going to advise you not to because they like the physiques to stand up. But I mean, I don't know. The side tricep is the same thing. You crouch those legs down, and yes, Ramrod has a bigger set of wheels, I would suggest. Hey, Andrew Jacked, his legs remind me of Arnold's, where you see Arnold in his prime, his legs looked pretty big. You throw that tape measure up and around them. Yeah, I mean, Ramy's huge, big ham hocks. They're not ham hocks, they're hanging hamstrings. Hanging hamstrings. I don't think that people said that before Phil Heath was around. Maybe they did. A foot of meat hanging off that quad bone. Unbelievable. Arm-wise, very similar. Very similar, bigger forearms to Ramrod's credit. Here is the all-important back shots. Because some could argue, well, I don't know who, but some could argue it's still a tie game heading into these back shots. And you know what? Call me crazy, which some of you probably do already, which has nothing to do with my ability to, I was going to say judge, but some people don't like that word, to survey two physiques and let you know who would probably win in a bodybuilding competition. But call me crazy, but are these two guys almost the exact same type of condition here in their respective careers? Ramy did get peeled the 2020. There can be no arguing that. As much as everybody, I don't like that version. Hey, peeled will win you the O. Give you the W at the O. But having said that, I don't know. It's actually a lot closer than I thought. It's not really that much of a beatdown from Ramrod, which I thought it was going to be. Here is the rear double. Kind of the same again, but Ramy looks a little better in the rear double. Of course, he has the shorter arms. That's going to help. I mean, from the front point of view, Andrew's arms look pretty impressive, but here in the back they also do. But you compare them with Ramy, who does have good arms as well, except the better forearms. Just comes out more impressive with a slightly bigger back, I would suggest. Maybe lower lat insertions, lat attachments. And I'm sure some people are just shaking their heads at home that are new to bodybuilding, checking this comparison out.
What does he mean by lat insertions? How does he know that I sound like this? My soul! Honey, bring me a beer!
But anyway, it is a supreme victory, I think, in the rear double by. Maybe even a victory in the rear lat, although closer in the rear lat. But I'm going to go with Big Ramy in the combined back shots. And in the abs and thigh, nobody in their right mind would give this to Big Ramy. But you know what? No, I'm not going to. Don't worry. You know what? He is actually battling Andrew Jacked, the likes of which nobody else, I don't think, in the IFBB today. Well, Hattie Shupin's pretty peeled. Laser beam peeled. But Big Ramy has that size, that huge stature that stands up to Andrew Jacked in this shot, and he's most certainly holding his own. Much like Andrew Jacked was holding his own in that front lat, though. So there's a lot of poses going to Big Ramy, and even the Andrew Jacked ones, it is very close. Even this one. So Ramrod, most muscular, Ramrod 2015, most certainly. When you're putting him up against a stud like Andrew Jacked, most certainly you're going to want to use this version because he has among the best front doubles, among the best front lat spreads. The guy was just unbelievable. And aside from getting into that, like what my hero Bob Ciccarello says, you get into that 90 percentile, you can win events. But to win the Olympia, you got to get to that 95 or higher percentile in peeled condition. So it did. Here's another most muscular if you wanted another point of view. If you were thinking, well, Andrew Jack looks better in this one. He does. But then again, the Big Ramy gets bigger again too. Much better arms. Overall, I would say a more complete physique. I don't think anybody would argue with that. And he has a darn good set of abs to do battle against the likes of an Andrew Jacked. And I'm not going to ruffle any feathers of the Jackedites and say Big Ramy's beating him on the midsection. But, I mean, you can have a look yourself if you want and see how awesome Big Ramy really was back in 2015. What a physique! No wonder everybody wanted him to win the Olympia title. So, I think it's obvious from my tone through this. Once I reach the abs and thigh, I pretty much know who won. Or actually, once I reach both back shots, I pretty much know who won. Unless it's very close, then you gotta rely on those last 2 shots. But come on, guys. Andrew jacked. Congratulations. He is second place, which is a good placing. And I sometimes say I placed second through my entire career. Through my entire career, I placed second. I was a wrestler. Hit thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And if you did not enjoy it, what are you still doing here? Hit thumbs up anyway. Have a nice one.